Hi, how's it going? How are you doing? I'm doing as good as ever, and this video is going to be kind of a follow-up to my other video where I talk about Shein, fast fashion, and hand sewing clothes, making your own clothes. I'm going to be showing my own clothes that I made myself, and I'm going to be making some clothes right now because I'm kind of bored of how my closet looks. I'm going to start with this hat that I am currently wearing. It has some chains. I feel like the lighting is kind of ruining everything, but it has some chains on it, which are basically just from a necklace that broke. That thing over here, I don't know what that is. And then here I have two crosses. The color faded. They're not like silver anymore, they're more copper. So I just put them on this hat, and I'm gonna be adding a lot more stuff. I'll be adding pins and like clothespins and staples maybe, I don't know. This shirt, I regret to say, I bought it off of Temu. Honestly, I was too young to understand that buying Temu is not good. And by too young, I mean that was probably not that long ago, but it was before I realized how terrible fast fashion is. But I still like the shirt. This is Viktor Tsoi from the band Kino. It's a Russian band, and I really like their music. It's a basic plain tee that I'm wearing right now. My outfit currently is not anything special. It's just these cargo pants, this shirt, this hat. I have two piercings on this side, one of which I made myself. That is dangerous, and you need to learn how to do it. Before you actually do it, I just went for it, but it took me an hour and a half, so you should learn how to do it, please, and do it with a friend so they can help you. But this side only has one piercing. That's kind of it about my current outfit right now. Nothing too special, just plain kind of alternative. I want to remake this zip-up jacket. I really like zip-up jackets more than hoodies because they're just easier and I feel like they look better. But this jacket, I'm gonna take off my hat. I made this patch just like a couple minutes ago. I removed the logo, my school logo, because I wore this to school, but apparently the school doesn't require jackets or hoodies to have the logo on them. I just cut it out. I painted a skull with fabric paint, and I'm gonna add eyes. My school has strict, not strict, just plain stupid dress code, and I absolutely hate it, but I find any way possible to get around it and to look cool. So on the hood, I'm gonna add spikes as I did to my other hoodie, to like my bluish one with all the patches on it, and of course I had to add holes to the the hands because I'm just edgy like that. So hopefully it's gonna look cooler. Obviously it's gonna look cooler. Also, I want to remake this shirt. I have a lot of big, like super oversized shirts, so this shirt, I like it a lot. This is Frida Kahlo with her pet monkey. This is her self-portrait. My friend actually found it at Goodwill. She goes up to me and like, "Girl, look at this. It's so funny." We were laughing at it like, "Yeah, haha." And I'm like, I want to buy it. I wear it all the time, but it is just a big plain shirt. So I'll just make this like a really long tank top, and I'll keep the drawing on the front, obviously, because it's really cool. For the back, I'm not sure yet, but I'll come up with something, and I really hope that I don't ruin this shirt because I like it a lot. And I always save the excess fabric from clothes. If I'm cutting something, making something shorter, getting rid of the sleeves, I always keep that stuff so I can use it for other clothes or at least make patches with it. I cut off the sleeves, and this is what it looks like right now. Could I use the sleeve that I cut off to make a collar? I'm probably not experienced enough to do that, but I feel like I'm onto something here. If I cut off the collar, I feel like it's gonna look too boxy, but if I do like this, it's gonna have some shape. Isn't that already like so much better? Smart. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. This is a really easy DIY. I could add more stuff to it. I could cut more. I could make holes. Whatever I want. This is super easy, super simple design. Also, like, I basically just came back from my trip with my church, and there's dust flying everywhere. Oh my goodness. But I just came back from this trip, and we went to this one place, and I got Martian soda, and I really don't want to drink this. I just want to put it on my shelf. Probably not gonna do that. I'm probably just gonna drink it right away. No, I think I fixed the issue with the lighting. I mean, not really. It still sucks, and I still hate it. But I'll stay positive, I guess. I have this bag. It's a cool tote bag, but it's kind of boring, and it's not my style. Like, sure, it's kind of cute, I guess. I got it from my sister, but I'll probably just gonna cut out this cat. Maybe I'll use it for something else or give it to somebody, and I'll make a big patch to... I want to make like a Junji Ito inspired thing, because I watched Maniac and I read part of one of his comics. I can talk about the history of Junji Ito, like how I found out about him, and some other things. I'll just yap a little bit, and I'll be sketching in my little notebook right here. This is just a random notepad that I got. I can talk a little bit about the history of this notepad. Right here there's a message. We received this when we moved away from our old town where we lived, and we left our church, and they made this little notebook for us, and the little kids from that church, they did this little arts and crafts thing, and they put their like handprint cut out on paper on the page, and they wrote a Bible verse, which was pretty cute. But I threw all those pages away because I didn't want them, and I don't have any emotional ties to that old church apart from not liking it. So I'll just go ahead and start sketching over here. I'll start off by talking a little bit about the reason why I like Junji Ito and how I even found out about Junji Ito in the first place. There was this channel that I used to watch, and I think I'm still subscribed to it, Jordan Persegati. I can link his channel in the description. But I was just like a really big fan of his videos because he would take kids' coloring books, and he is a really skilled artist. Most of the time he just like took inspiration from other horror media, like Five Nights at Freddy's, like Japanese horror. One of them was Junji Ito, and I didn't know anything about it, but I was like so obsessed. This looks cool. I want to know a little bit more about it. And I found out that Junji Ito and I think Netflix made a show called Maniac, and I watched it. It was so good, and the animation is just amazing, and every single story is so cool. I became a fan, and then I I just took from my art class at school, I took a magazine, and so I took it with me and I put it in my backpack, and I still have it somewhere on my bookshelf. I took that one specifically because I found Junji Ito in it, because I recognized the art style very easily. I just had to take it and read a little bit more about it. I read some of it and it was so interesting, and I don't know much about it. Now I have to choose a drawing, but I need to draw something that I could put on a tote bag and not be exercised at church for. So I need to pick something that is church safe, which is definitely not this. So maybe I'll draw Soichi. Yeah, maybe this. Something like this. Something not too hard to do, because I'm kind of scared I'll ruin it. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna do that. This is also pretty nice. I like this one. Maybe I could do this one, but I'm gonna add the nails in his mouth. I'm just using this for a reference, so let's start. Oh, also I suck at drawing anime. Like, I tried doing art in that style. I tried, and yeah, it did not look good. But I did also try drawing some Jujutsu Kaisen characters. Also, I'm not a fan of anime. Like, honestly, I don't like it. My friend kind of told me that I need to watch Jujutsu Kaisen, and I did. Because to be fair, I did force him to sit through all of the Harry Potter movies. This already looks kind of wrong, but whatever. Weird strap around his head. Why does he have candles? No, I guess it makes sense because he was in that the walls. He was living in his brother's walls. Funny. I was considering watching more anime to see if it's just like, if I'm making assumptions too quickly, or maybe I just don't like anime. I do like Ghibli movies. My favorite one, probably Spirited Away, or about the girl I was literally watching. Oh, Kiki's Delivery Service. Oh my goodness, I love that one. This is how it looks right now before I'm about to butcher it. It's pretty simple. Yeah, this does not look like Soichi. Well, now he looks like he has Down syndrome. And he doesn't. He's just a psychopath. So now I gotta fix that. He looks a bit too Asian. He reminds me of my school principal. And she has very uneven eyes. And I don't like her. Okay, I don't know. Something is still off about my Suichi. This big hole in the bag. And I have this patch now. I have a ton of fabric in here. Ooh. This shirt. This is so cool. I think this is it. Okay, yeah, it is. And the texture is perfect too. And I'll just put some on the edge of my sketchbook. Just a little itty bitty drop. And I did test it out already on another piece of fabric. And it did not show up. I am excited for church on Sunday because I like church. I go to a Russian Presbyterian church. I have several friends at church. They can be a bit annoying sometimes. I did make a new friend. I recommended a bunch of cool stuff to him, like goth music. First, I need to mention my previous church, the one we used to go to. It was a Baptist Russian church, and it was not growing. It was, in fact, doing the opposite. It was kind of dying. It's sad to see a church dying, but I mean, I don't blame people for leaving it because it was kind of toxic, especially to the kids. One time I remember, it's kind of a weird story. We had this kind of, what's it called? Sunday school thing for the kids. I think I was about 7 or 8. This is just a random memory and it feels so weird, like a fever dream. But I remember the pastor and one of my friends, Michael, his name was Michael, his dad, they were both telling us this Sunday school thing about how we must dress modestly. And it was mostly girls. There was Michael, the only guy I'm pretty sure in there, but mostly girls. And the pastor was talking about how boys, when they look at girls, they visually undress them. And that was so weird for me, but I never told anyone until kind of recently. I told my mom about it and my dad, so I'm glad we're out of there. But unfortunately, Michael still is. If Michael's watching this, I'm sorry, man. And when we went to that Baptist church, we weren't Baptist, we were already Reformed Presbyterian. But my new church, they're a lot better. Because at my old church, I'm saying bad words like darn and shoot dang it was bad because you're cursing and you can't say that. I said something along the lines of darn it, and they gave me a lecture. They did not have drums. They thought drums were a bad thing. But yeah, our new church is a lot less judgmental. I finally was able to dress the way that I dress now, and nobody's gonna judge me. Nobody's gonna look at me sideways. No one's gonna come to my mom and ask me if everything's okay. People like the way I dress here, which I'm really glad about. It's one of the parts that I like about moving. I didn't really enjoy moving. I don't really miss anything now. But yeah, my new church is great. They don't care that I dress goth. It took me 5 layers to realize that this isn't white. This is glow-in-the-dark paint. And I don't know how I didn't understand that. I am going to use that for my advantage. This is how it turned out. But look at this. This is so cool. So off camera, I did cut up this shirt a little bit. The neckline's bigger. This is the outfit that I made using this tank top that I sewed from the old shirt. It looks a little awkward, but I might just need to get used to it. Oh, so it is day 17 of working on this. I'm gonna start talking about my morning so far. I had the weirdest dream, and I think the Pope has to do something with it. That's a crazy statement, but I'm not the only one who had a crazy dream about a person in power. So I had a dream that me and my friends at school, so we were on a school trip. I had a dream that we went to New York. I was just like walking around as usual, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of crime starts happening. This guy points a gun at a girl and he like is holding her hostage, and then a bunch of other stuff starts happening, like someone stole a car, someone like stole something else, just different crimes start happening all of a sudden. And I'm seeing this guy that was pointing a gun at a girl, and he's like, wait, what's going on? He's also confused, and then nobody's paying attention to him, so he kind of gives up, I guess. And so I start running. I'm just like running everywhere. I don't know where to go because I just don't want to be part of any crime that happens. I don't want to get shot or something. And this is New York, so this is pretty normal so far. But then me and my 10th grade classes, we go to this like big square with some kind of government building. And then I see Peter the Great, who by the way is like one of my absolute favorite people from history. Like, I know a fact that he was tall, 7 feet tall, but in my dream he was like giant. I'm realizing kind of like this is a dream, and I'm telling myself, no, he wasn't that tall, that's ridiculous. And then, you know, my friends were obviously like, oh my gosh, it's your favorite guy from history. But then I remember seeing his wife and him standing there, and their dog, it was so excited to see me. Like, out of all the people, it came up to me and it started like jumping on me. And then Peter the Great's wife, she says, hey, you know what, you can keep her if you want to. And I'm like, nah, it's fine, I already have a dog. I don't need any more of those. So I gave the dog back to them, and then Peter the Great complimented my outfit. It felt so awkward, and then I like awkwardly walked away. And then in my friend's group chat, my friend told me that the Pope died, and what? Which, like, I'm not surprised. He looked pretty old, but, like, maybe that's why I had such a weird, vivid dream about Peter the Great. Maybe somehow the Pope influenced it. I don't know. And then my other friend, she says, like, yeah, I also had a weird dream about a figure in power. She said, I had a dream I went to Japan with my family and was being chased by Kim Jong-un. Tell me in the comments if you had any weird dreams recently about Kim Jong-un or Peter the Great. But yeah, that was my morning. Good morning, everybody. This is how it turned out. I think this looks awesome. So far, this is what I have on the back. And then the other side. Okay, this took a while. With this bag, I feel like the Vans that I wore in my Ash Wednesday video, they would kind of look more matching. I decided that I want to do this. Can't really see my whole... Here, you can... It's kind of far, but you get the idea. You know, at first, I'm not very confident with how an outfit may look, but the more I wear it, the more I get used to it. And I know it looks weird, but that's the point. That's my whole life's point, looking weird. And that's okay. If you don't like it, you don't have to. But of course, my proudest achievement in this whole video is this bag, and it glows in the dark, which is like my favorite part. And then the back to this eye, Junji Ito. Of course, gotta give credit to the man, the myth, the legend. So I guess to finish up this long video that took me, I don't know how many days to make, at least several, I can proudly say that I think I've achieved a lot. Also, tell me what you would like to see next, like what kind of clothes you think I should make and what I should experiment with. Oh yeah, and the word for today is impel, which is a verb, and it means to push someone to do something. And I impel you guys to experiment with your style and improve it or change it up. Make your own clothes. Hope you have a great day. Ever Bearkins, over and out.